Okay, thank you. I just want to let everyone know this meeting is now being recorded and live streamed. And we are ready to begin. Okay, thank you. I just want to let everyone know this meeting is now being recorded and live streamed. And we are ready to begin.
Right. Okay, we call the River Planning Commission meeting February 21st.
Thank you. Present is Commissioner John Marshall, John Derby, Alan Wells, and Seth Clark, as well as Council Liaison Nancy Bell. Absent is William Wood and Marissa Doyle. We do have a quorum.
Hey, John, can you speak into the microphone a little bit clearer? I'm sorry. I don't think anybody on Zoom can hear you. That's a little better.
Hey, John, I've got two mics in front of me now, so we ought to be good to go.
Better. Love it. Thanks, John.
Okay, after dinner review, we have approval of the minutes. We had a chance to review the minutes for our meeting of July 20th. 22.
I'm sorry, I can't hear anything.
Oh, you're doing fine. Yeah. How about now? Hello?
Yes, that works. Thank you.
Okay. Back to, let's see, approval of minutes, please.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes as written.
Second. Moved and second for approval of minutes. Any objections? Anything else? We'll take a vote at this time. Those in favor say aye.
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 Moved, seconded, and approved. So the minutes have been approved. Next item on the agenda is public testimony. Do anybody signed up for public testimony this evening?
No one is signed up that I'm aware of.
Okay.
I also have one change to the agenda, and that will be that elections, which are the next item, is going to be pushed to October because of the bylaws. So we're going to skip elections and go right to the next item.
Okay. Okay, we'll jump from that to the planning commission vacancy and to review a potential applicant. And I think it's deja vu, if I'm not mistaken, with Mr. Bell.
That's correct. Mr. Bell has been a planning commissioner in the past. If anyone has any questions, I would invite you to ask Mr. Bell. And Mr. Bell, if you'd like to come introduce yourself, please come up to the podium.
Yes. Hi, I'm Jim Bell.
Hi.
Hi. Yes, I left the planning commission 2-3 years ago because I had just been hired by the city as the emergency manager and wanted to spend a little less time with the city than both positions. So I am now no longer the emergency manager and freely available for the planning commission if you see fit.
I have no questions. Remember, Jim, you've been on the planning commission before, so wonderful to have you as far as I'm concerned. So, wish you. You could do it.
I'm good to me.
I believe this is a, you make a recommendation to city council, is that correct?
Yes, but before someone makes that motion, there's one other thing that I'd like to include as part of that recommendation to council, which is that 3 planning commissioners are up for reappointment. And that is Commissioner Seth Clark, Commissioner Alan Wells, and Commissioner Jonathan Derby. At this time, I'd like to know if the 3 of you would like to continue serving on the planning commission. And when I take this recommendation to city council, it will include the appointment of Jim Bell, as well as those who wish to continue to serve. Start with you, Commissioner Clark. Would you like to continue to serve?
Yes, I continue to intend to.
Thank you. Commissioner Wells?
Yes.
Thank you. And Commissioner Derby?
It'd be a pleasure. Absolutely.
Wonderful. Thank you all very much for your service. And we can now take a motion to recommend those 4 to council.
Question. I want you're running for the council. Yes.
So-
End up with another vacancy. Maybe.
Yes.
All right, got it. Right, very well. So I will entertain a motion to recommend to city council these 4 individuals for continuing on the planning commission and joining the planning.
I'll second.
Need a motion.
Oh, sorry, I thought you'd.
Can't make them.
All right, I'll make that motion.
I'll second. Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we recommend to city council the 4 people as Megan listed. And we will take a vote at this time. Aye. Aye. Kirby,
Well, I didn't know if I could vote or not, but yeah,
Yes, you may. Thank you.
anybody else out there? So, has been moved and recommended, so that's been taken care of. Next item of business is a public hearing. It's the elimination of FA sign site design review. Applicant is a Sherry Fletcher Powell of Ramsey Sign.
Hi.
SN 02-22 and SR 03-22. The site review permit. I'd like to open the public hearing this time. And I will ask all the members of the planning commission if they have any conflicts of interest, which party contacts, or whether there are any reasons they believe they should not participate in the decision-making process. Anybody in the audience that would wish to challenge the impartiality of any commissioner? Please. Failure to raise an issue accompanied by sufficient statements or evidence to enable the commission and other parties to respond to the issue precludes appeal of that issue to Oregon Land Use Board of Appeals. Anyone in the audience may request that the record be held open for 1 week. And they may also ask that the hearing be continued, although that is discretionary with the planning commission. And the requester must demonstrate that merely leaving the record open a certain number of days will not cure any procedural problem. Any commission decisions may be appealed to the city council within 14 days of planning commission decision being mailed out as a notice of decision. I'm going to press the staff report.
Thank you, Commissioner Marshall. Can everyone on Zoom see my PowerPoint?
Yes.
Thank you,
Yes,
Sharon.
we can.
Great, thank you. Okay, so this proposal is for a site design review for the interior illumination of 2 existing signs. Non-illuminated versions of the 2 signs have already been approved and installed. This request does not modify or alter the existing building or site other than to illuminate the 2 signs. In accordance with Ordinance A 155, which is the sign ordinance, all illuminated signs are subject to approval by the Planning Commission through the site review process. Non-illuminated signs are a type 1 procedure and approved administratively. Okay, so as my presentation is going to be brief tonight, I'm going to briefly describe the proposal to you, and then I will provide the options that Planning Commission can take. So as I mentioned, these are 2 existing signs and that we are seeking illumination here, which is part of the requirement of the sign ordinance A155. And so the faces of the signs are aluminum and the background is opaque. The letters that have the Pape logo are routed out of the aluminum face and backed with acrylic. So the only area of the sign that will illuminate is the logo or the letters. The subject signs were approved administratively without illumination, and illuminating the signs is subject to Planning Commission approval. Of the 2 signs, 1 sign is 49 square feet and 1 sign is 36 square feet. Of the 49 square feet has an illuminated portion of 22 square feet, and the 36 square foot sign has an illuminated portion of 13.5 square feet. This is well under the maximum of 600 square feet of signage that is allowed. The signs are wall signs that are mounted onto the building. Here is the site plan for the first sign, which faces North Coburg Industrial Way. And this is what it does look like currently. So they're seeking illumination for that sign. The second sign is on the rear of the building. Looks nearly identical. So you can see that is the existing condition now. Should any other building permits be required, the applicant will need to apply for those as part of the illumination. And Planning Commission has 3 options this evening. Staff does recommend approval based on the findings in this staff report. Staff recommends the record and hearing be closed unless a request is made to leave the record open. Planning Commission may make a motion to approve the request based on the staff report and findings. They may also make a motion to deny the request based off of findings to be prepared for denial. Planning Commission would direct staff to the basis for those denials. Or the third option is that Planning Commission can make a motion to approve with amended findings or additional conditions. Planning Commission would direct staff on what changes are to be made. We do have the representative of the applicant, Sherry Powell, on the line, if anyone has any questions for the applicant. Or questions for me.
Okay, thank you, Megan. And now we'll take public testimony. Basically, where the public testimony is the applicant. wish to support the application. Opponents, and each of those need to state their name and address, and any applicant rebuttal. At this time, I'll ask the public testimony from the applicant.
Okay, thank you for having me this evening. I'm actually sitting in on behalf of Kelly Reed, who filed for this Planning Commission approval, but she had tickets to Hamilton tonight, so we couldn't deny her that. But I wanted to just say that the two signs that we've installed so far that are non-illuminated are they're very attractive, and they fit very well on the building, and they're not overpowering. And I think one of the things that we try to do with Pape is to not oversign their businesses and just keep everything very simple. So as Megan said, these signs are relatively small in comparison to what is allowed there by code. And that our 49 square foot sign actually doesn't illuminate 49 square feet. We do have the capability to dim the signs if we need to. However, the relative square footage to that sign is only 22 square feet, and it doesn't put off a lot of illumination. It's pretty muted at night because of the amber color. And if you'd like, we could provide some information on how many lumens there are actually, what it will be when it's lit. The other sign is 36 square foot. Again, not a really large sign with 13.5 square feet of illumination. I don't think anybody really is going to be affected by these signs being on. Whether you're on I-5, they're not even going to really see them. Or whether you're on Industrial Way. It's just mostly for brand identification for Pape, and we hope that you'll approve our proposal. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other here tonight to speak in support of the application?
No, we have no one signed up for any further testimony. Thank you.
A quick question for the applicant. Is this similar to your other signs on other buildings?
Yes. Yeah, this is a different division of Pape. As you may or may not know, they have several divisions, the machinery, the material handling, the Kenworth, and I believe it's Kenworth that is in front of that, or at the back side of that property. So yes, it's very similar to that. We don't have a freestanding sign other than a short monument sign that's out there. So it's pretty limited to what we've got there.
Okay, thank you very much. If there's no other testimony, I'll close the public hearing at this time and go ahead and get into deliberations with commission. If there are any questions amongst ourselves as far as this request? Well, I don't have anything to add or do it. I just, and I've seen a lot of them down the freeway, and they're familiar with Pape, in fact.
Just a question. I no problem with this at all, but why did this demand a public hearing at all? Is this outside of our sign code, or?
That's exactly what it was, is that part of the ordinance that regulates signs in the city limits specifically states that all illuminated signs will go through the site review process and subject to approval from the Planning Commission.
Not a recommendation that we, the city council, would. By the plan.
That's correct. This body is the decision-making body on this proposal.
I don't have any objections. I'd be curious to know how many lumens it is, but I don't feel like we need to, we've already closed the case, and I wouldn't want to keep it open for that anyway. It's just my own knowledge.
I'll look into it and I'll get back with you on it.
Do we have any restrictions on lumens, or do we have any measurements on lumens within the ordinance?
Not that I'm aware of, no.
Yeah, if you could supply that, I think that would be, just we put it as part of the public record.
Okay.
This is Council Liaison Val. I'm glad to hear that it could be dimmed if needed. If there is one part of that sign will face towards the in case there is any feedback from neighbors, it would be good to know.
Okay. Megan, I'll send you an email on some research.
Thank you, Sherry, and I'll share that with the commission.
Thank you.
There's no further discussion at this time. Kirby, you got anything to put in? None? Given that, if there's no further discussion, I'll entertain a motion. Request and site review. Yeah. Be further some.
I'd make a motion to approve based on staff recommendations.
I'll second.
Been moved and seconded that we go ahead and approve this request. And all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? No opposed, so we move second and approved, so. Thank you very much.
Thank you, commissioners, and thank you, Sherry.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Sure.
All right. I think that's, next item is city updates. We're gonna get anything to.
I hope everyone has had a chance to review Anne's report. If there are any questions about that, I'd be happy to try to answer them. And if I do not have the answer, I will seek one for you. There are currently a few street projects happening over on Abbey, Austin, Bruce, and Water. There is resurfacing that began last week and will continue on Monday. Mackenzie Street is also receiving an upgrade to match Mill Street. So it's going to get a sidewalk on the north end, as well as some repavement and potentially some parking, but don't quote me on that. Lots of other projects happening right now. So like I said, if you have any specific questions, please let me know.
Thing coming up for the phone committee.
Yes. In October, I anticipate that the map amendment that will accompany the updates to the development code will come to Planning Commission. We're also, so it will just be updating the zoning and the comprehensive plan map. And we do have one application that we received for a site review for a restaurant in town. We requested additional information and have not yet received that. So I'm not sure when that will come to Planning Commission, but it will be in the near future. I haven't received anything else officially at this time.
More questions? Anybody else have any more information?
I just wanted to, where's Macy Street?
Macy Street is, if you were to continue on North Willamette, instead of making this turn to go to the school.
Yeah.
North Willamette continues right there at that T.
Okay.
And so you would make a right, and that's Macy Street.
And am I understanding that's going to be connected to the subdivision that's up there?
That's correct.
Oh, cool.
That's the proposal.
That's exciting. Good. Oh, thank you.
Anything else? Nothing? Go ahead and adjourn the meeting. Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.